Welcome to E-Bible Fellowship Scripture and Song. The nature of this program is to take a look at the hymns that have been written to glorify God.
Spirit of God, Descend Upon My Heart is a lovely hymn from the 1800s, which appeals to God that He might give the writer His Spirit. This, we know, is really an appeal for salvation. If we have been chosen to salvation by God from the foundation of the world, there comes a time in the individual's life, any time from the infant's time in the womb until right before death, when God visits that person and causes His Spirit to indwell that person. In Ezekiel 36:26 we read, "A new heart also will I give you, and a new spirit will I put within you, and I will take away the stony heart out of your flesh, and I will give you an heart of flesh. And I will put my spirit within you, and cause you to walk in my statutes, and ye shall keep my judgments, and do them." Ezekiel 36, verses 22 to 31, is possibly the best passage in the Bible describing how God does everything in salvation. Though man is commanded repeatedly in His Word to seek Him for that salvation, God makes it clear that there is no physical act, nothing we can do to initiate the giving of that salvation. We read in Isaiah 45:22, "Look unto me, and be ye saved, all the ends of the earth, for I am God, and there is none else." In Isaiah 55:6 we read, "Seek ye Jehovah while He may be found. Call ye upon Him while He is near." But the Bible is replete with statements that tell us there is no way we can do that or will do that in a way that is acceptable to God. In Psalm 53:2 we read, "God looked down from heaven upon the children of men to see if there were any that did understand, that did seek God." Verse 3 says, "Every one of them is gone back. They are altogether become filthy. There is none that doeth good, no, not one." Notice that Isaiah 55:6 says, "Seek ye Jehovah while He may be found. Call ye upon Him while He is near." These words tell us there will come a time when He is no longer near. There will come a time when He cannot be found. We have come to that time. God's judgment on the world has begun, and salvation has ended. We can know from all that God has revealed in the Bible concerning time that Noah's flood, typifying the end of salvation and the beginning of God's judgment on the world, occurred on the 17th day of the second month of the calendar of that day. We have learned that May 21st of 2011, the 17th day of the second month of the Hebrew calendar, was exactly 7,000 years later. We know that on the day the flood began, God shut the door. Salvation ended and judgment began. The time for God's people to exhort mankind to seek God for salvation has ended. Their task now is to bring this message that God's people might be edified, and the message of judgment is now to be brought to the world. The writer of the hymn asks God to wean his heart from this earth, to put away the pursuits of this world, and set his heart upon God, and for God to move in all the pulses of his heart. He beseeches God to stoop, to condescend in His might to our human weakness, and to make Him, to cause Him to love God. Our love to God is manifested in the keeping of His commandments, and as we read in Ezekiel 36, He causes that. There are so many other Christian principles mentioned in this song that we must stop now and continue this treatise at another time. Let us now listen to the hymn. Spirit of God, descend upon my heart.
Spirit
You've been listening to E-Bible Fellowship's Scripture and Song program. If you enjoy listening to our programming, we'd like to hear from you. Write to us at ebiblefellowship@juno.com.